For poor and working-class young people during the Great Depression of the 1930s, clothing was especially important. In Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, Letters of Children of the Great Depression, Robert Cohen writes, quote, "It is almost impossible to capture today how large clothing loomed to poor Depression youths in their struggle for personal comfort and respect. When they looked at their world, friends, schoolmates, pictures in newspapers and magazines, they saw person after person clothed better than they were. This constant reminder that they were doing so poorly relative to most of America was as oppressive to them psychologically as the discomfort caused by inadequate clothing was physically." Middle-class historians see in Eleanor Roosevelt a liberal political figure, a feminist icon, a mother, wife, grandmother, and humanitarian. When Depression youths looked at Mrs. Roosevelt, they saw much of this too. But they, and especially female teens, also literally saw the First Lady, saw her clothing, and really thought about it. They wrote to her about the lovely clothes she wore. They noticed how many outfits she had, and after thinking about this, felt it safe to ask her for used clothing, since they assumed that she and her friends had, as one needy North Carolina teen put it, so many clothes that she did not know what to do with them all. Welcome to History in Letters and Memoirs Great Depression series. This collection intends to be a living history that draws from two books, Down and Out in the Great Depression, Letters from the Forgotten Man by Robert S. McIlvaine, and Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, Letters from Children of the Great Depression by Robert Cohen. Each installment in this series features a selection of letters organized by topic, with a few excerpts from Cohen, McIlvaine, and other sources to provide additional context. Although these letters were written almost a century ago, their content feels unnervingly close. Because Cohen and McIlvaine have taken great care to faithfully transcribe each letter as it was written, every letter is displayed on screen as it is read. Images from the time period accompany the text. I try my best to read word for word, but at times I make minor changes to language and sentence structure. I claim sole responsibility for any mistakes in interpretation. Likewise, cadence and tone of voice are my subjective attempt to convey the deep feeling with which 1930s Americans wrote to their presidents and politicians, sharing their lives, their despair, their hope, and their need. Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, I am sending you this few lines to tell you to do me a favor, but please do not tell nobody nor put it on the paper, please. Well, I am a girl of 15 years old. I go to school but wish for two things. My father work on the relief and what he gets for the food, and we can't get no clothing. And you know when you go to school, like to have something fair to wear. The other girl are all dressed good, and gee, they have so good and pretty permanent and good dresses that they have. Gee, if I had somewhere to work to get me a permanent, I would go just to get me one. But I can't get no work. Well, Mrs. Roosevelt, could you do me a favor? I know you have some old dresses that you don't wear no more. Would mind giving them to me, please, for me and my sister? And if you have an old coat you don't use no more, I have one, but it is no good no more, and if you give one you don't want no more, I'll do a little praying to God up in heavens so that He bless you for your kind heart, and our good President Mr. Roosevelt, and use more for all you are doing for us that are poor. Now, Mrs. Roosevelt, I must close, with love and honor to our President and Mrs. Roosevelt. From a friend. Now don't forget my need, please, and don't put it in the aid of papers. Please think all about me asking, so please do that. My sister is 17 years old. Yours truly, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, February 10th, 1935. Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, I don't know how to begin, but this is my last hope is through you. And I do know you're rich and I'm poor. I'm a girl of 14 years and don't want my parents to know I'm writing this letter to you. They would never quit punishing me for it, So before I start, if you don't care to do this, please destroy this letter and don't let my parents know. I'll begin. I never had a spring coat, and Mother said she couldn't buy one for me this spring. Most of the other girls in school has one or going to get one, and oh, I wish for one so bad. Would you please send me? And when I get work, I'll pay you for it. I just won't get one any other way. I wear size 12 in junior. Please don't publish my letter. My parents would hurt me so. Waiting. Your friend. Poplar Bluff, Missouri, March 8th, 1939. My dear Mrs. Roosevelt, I guess you are surprised to hear from a South Carolina girl, but here I am, writing to the First Lady. It must be wonderful to be so glorious and famous as you are. I see your pictures often in papers and magazines, and you look so kind and pleasing. I've read the story, This Is My Life, that you wrote. It was just grand. I am a poor girl. My birthday is Wednesday, February 23rd. I will be 17 years old. I never get any nice clothes like other girls. I don't get to go to parties, dances, movies, or have boyfriends. My parents won't let me. Dozens of boys call for me to go out, but Daddy meets them at the door with a no, no. Not bragging or anything, but I am nice looking if I had some pretty clothes to dress up in. I have blonde hair, large round blue eyes, fair complexion, am about 5 feet tall, weigh 120 pounds, wear a 6 slipper. I wonder if you would be so kind as to help me get some spring clothes I need so much. Only a few dollars will help me so much. I was in the 10th grade at school and had to stop and go to work in a cotton mill and don't make enough to buy myself clothes. So please, please, dear Mrs. First Lady, won't you help me since you have so much? I wish you could see how the poor people around here have to live. Will you help me? Please let me know by return mail. I will be ever so grateful. Please don't let this letter get in the paper. Sincerely. Please, I hope I can depend on you to help me. I know you will, you are so kind. Westminster, South Carolina, February 21st, 1938. Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, I certainly am ashamed to sink so low as to have to write this. Please don't say anything about this to anyone, please. Mrs. Roosevelt, I have written to you for help, if you will help me. My father has a job in the little planer here, and the largest check he has ever drawn was $15. There is 4 in our family. I am 17 years old, and my brother will be 11 tomorrow. We use $3 or $4 for groceries, and Dad spends the rest at the pool hall. I have been trying to get work for about 3 months, and I can't find a thing. Maybe it is because I look so shabby. I like pretty clothes as much or more than most girls, but what few I do get are on credit. Mrs. Roosevelt, why I have written is I plead that if you will, would you send me $10 for a few clothes? Please, would you? If you would, I will tell God how good you were. Please believe this, for it is the truth. Honest it is. Sometimes Dad works at cafe for $1, but he eats it up. Please never say a word about this to anyone, please. If my parents find out about this, they would kill me. If you intend to answer, please do so immediately, for I will be in suspense. I am still trying for a job, and if you help me and I ever get work, I will try to pay it back. Respectively yours, Mena, Arkansas, June 3rd, 1939. Creating a living history is not without expense. If you would like to support the channel, please consider making a donation. I've put a link in the description. You can also support by hitting the like button, subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss a video, and dropping a comment below on which letter catches your attention and why. Turn to the person next to you and tell them what caught your attention and why. Ask them for their perspective. Listen, respond, connect, continue. Thank you for keeping this history alive. Apart from assistance in creating a caption file, History in Letters and Memoir is an AI-free channel. Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, I suppose you think it quite funny to receive a letter from a little downhearted girl in Springfield. Well, as I was laying here in bed, only able to lay on my back, I thought of you, who might be one who could help me. I have tried, but in vain. I am trying to go to school, but as I have had a very bad attack of appendicitis, I have been out of school almost 2 weeks. Seeing the doctor takes every little bit of money we manage to bring in, and that isn't much. If I was even able to attend school, I rather believe I couldn't, as my clothes wouldn't suit. I attend the big high school here in town, and there are around 3,000 students attending. I am 16 years of age, have gray eyes, blonde hair, fair complexion, and am 5 feet 5 inches tall and weigh 120 pounds. All my friends like me, but dear Mrs. President, could you imagine the feelings of a lonely child who is sure she could look as neat and pretty as the others who take part in everything, if only she has barely a few of the necessities of life during these school days? As it is, I see them all, dressed in their beautiful party dresses, go to parties and enjoy themselves, and the fact remains that I hurry home and then cry myself to sleep on being so downhearted and blue. They invite me to their parties, yet I cannot go. Then they know the reason. And as I lay here in bed, tired and weary, praying that dear God will look down and help me, my thoughts come to you and God alone at these moments. Here I think of my dear daddy who tries, but in vain, and my blessed mother who does everything in the world for me, and would give her life, but neither can she provide me with the necessities of life in my school days. I do not expect to do as some of them do, but if I could only have some decent clothes and other necessities and enjoy a few pleasures that only come once in life. Only those that have experienced know of the pains and sufferings I have to bear, as I lay for hours and hours on my back in my bed, begging God to help. And now it seems as if God has told me that you might be one who could and would help me. Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, please do not accept me as a beggar, because I'm not. But as I write this, I say, O Lord, let me not be disappointed again. Yet I am willing to give or take what the Lord would have me to, and still live in hopes. Dear friend, if you can, and if you want to make a child the happiest one in the world, please help me, and let me hear from you soon. You don't know, you don't see, or wouldn't realize how happy I could be if only I could have a friend come to my house, as others do, and enjoy a few of the many pleasures offered in this world. You don't know how I would appreciate your help, as your reward in the future as dear God can give you, and as I keep striving and going on to school, I hope and truly believe that someday success will be mine, and those who have helped may be rewarded. I have some dear little sisters and a sweet mother and father who would also be happy. No one knows I am writing you but my only self, and I'm living in the hopes with God that you will answer personally to me and help me. A blessed friend, Miss M.M. Springfield, Missouri, December 5th, 1937. Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, I am a girl 19 years old and love pretty clothes but could never have them. We are poor people, and I am writing to you to see if you would send me some of your cast-off clothing. Please do, Mrs. Roosevelt. We live in what I would call a high-headed community, and the girls all have nice clothes and make fun of me because I don't have. If they knew I wrote this letter to you, they would laugh sure enough. I can't even go to Sunday school on Sunday on account of clothes, and I haven't got decent shoes or dresses to wear to look for a job. So if you will send me some of your dresses, slips, brassieres, panties, and a coat because I do not have a coat at all, and if you have any shoes, Mrs. Roosevelt, I am telling the truth before the Lord that it's pitiful the way I'm looked down on. You may think I'm stretching things, but I'm not. And maybe I can pay you back the money it took to bring them sometime. So please do, Mrs. Roosevelt. Please do. I would sure write you a big letter of thanks, Mrs. Roosevelt. You may have received other letters like this one. You may think I'm putting up a big fish story, but I sure telling the truth, and my daddy and stepmother would appreciate anything you and Mr. Roosevelt might send them. So please send us some things. If you will, we will be 3 smiling people. And Mrs. Roosevelt, please send them as soon as possible, and write me a card a day or 2 before so I can be at the mailbox to get it. So I will close with a million thanks and lots of love. M.K. Rogersville, Missouri, January 16th, 1939. I have your picture in the paper. Me and you are about the same size. I can wear your clothes okay. Many thanks to the historians and archivists whose painstaking work preserves our history. Many more thanks to the forgotten men, women, and children from the Depression era whose words reach through time, offering wisdom and warning.